Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we try to get you quickly up to speed on, well, some pretty fascinating topics. And today, we're getting into something that, it kind of plays on your mind. Stuff that lurks in the corners of the internet, often totally without context. We are talking about cursed images.
Yeah, exactly. And for this deep dive, we're drawing heavily from a YouTube video. It's called Exploring at Cursed Images from the channel Rainbot. It does a really good job looking at the whole phenomenon and kind of the psychology behind why these pictures creep us out.
Right. So our mission today is basically to unpack what a cursed image actually is. Why do they grab our attention like they do? And how they sort of mess with our perception. Plus, we'll dig into their surprisingly specific origin story.
It's pretty wild how something so simple can feel so off.
It really is. So, okay, picture this. You're just scrolling, right? Social media feed, the usual stuff jokes, holiday pictures, maybe people arguing about, the latest movie. Then bam, you hit something that just stops you cold. An image, no explanation, maybe just captioned, cursed image 9090. That exact feeling, that pause.
Oh, absolutely, that sudden wait, what moment?
Yeah. And the source video, Rainbot's video, it has this perfect example. It's a picture. And it looks like human hair pulled out of a car's exhaust pipe.
Oh, yeah. Instantly unsettling.
Right. And your brain just goes into overdrive. Like, whose hair is that? How did it even get in there? Was there some awful accident? It's just baffling.
It is. And what's really interesting there is how fast our minds jump in to fill the gaps, because the actual explanation, the logical one, it's pretty boring, actually.
Boring, yeah.
The source found out it wasn't human hair at all. It was just some dampening material from inside the car's muffler. Apparently, the person who posted it first just put it on Reddit asking, hey, what is this?
Oh, right. So not sinister at all, just car parts.
Exactly. But see, without that context, our brains they run wild. We cook up these, wild, illogical theories. It seems like the mystery itself becomes way more interesting than things we actually understand.
Yeah.
We're kind of wired for story, even disturbing ones.
That need for context is powerful, and it's amazing how these images just hook you. But this whole cursed image thing, it didn't just spring up from nowhere, did it? There's a specific Twitter account involved.
That's right.
Yeah, the Cursed Images Twitter account. It really blew the term up. Started by someone anonymous who obviously got the power of images stripped of their context. They just started posting these random photos. No credit, just labeled cursed image and then a number.
Simple idea, really effective.
Incredibly effective. And get this, the account was really only active for about 3 months. Just 3 months. But it got over 100,000 followers. Even big media outlets started noticing it.
Wow, that's fast growth. Yeah. And then it just stopped. The last main posts were on Halloween 2016. There was one more post a year later, which got hopes up, but then nothing. Kind of adds to the mystery, doesn't it?
It really does. And, it's worth pointing out that calling weird, nonsensical images cursed, that was kind of already a thing, like an old running joke in some corners of the internet, because it's just absurd, right?
Ah, okay, so the account tapped into something already bubbling up.
Exactly, it amplified it. And interestingly, there's even a counter account called Uncursed Images. Its whole purpose is to track down the origins and explain these pictures.
So like the muffler fluff story.
Yeah.
Debunking them.
Right. Which kind of brings up a question, doesn't it? If you know the truth, does it ruin the magic? The source suggests, though, that for a lot of people, it doesn't really. That initial feeling, that unease, that's the core experience. The truth doesn't necessarily erase that first weird jolt.
The feeling lingers even after,
Yeah.
That ambiguity seems so central. It even extends to the creator, right? Their identity was a whole other layer of mystery. People guessed it was a bot or just someone bored.
Yeah, total speculation.
But the creator actually talked about it in an interview with The New Yorker. They said, and this is a quote, "Just like the lack of context for the images, whoever you think I am, that's what I am."
Which is just perfectly ambiguous, isn't it? Leaning right into the whole theme.
Totally. Just keeps layering it on.
And they also talked to Gizmodo, gave a bit more background, said the inspiration came from seeing similar cursed image captions over on Tumblr. So they just started saving them, making their own collection.
Right. So what is a cursed image then, according to the person who basically curated the defining collection? Is there a checklist?
Well, not exactly a checklist, but they did define the feeling. The admin said the goal is to evoke a sense of discomfort, make you feel uneasy.
Uneasy.
No.
Not necessarily scared or disgusted.
Exactly. Just unnerved. That's the key word. And interestingly, they mentioned that a lot of the images are actually kind of silly. That's on purpose.
Silly. How does that make them cursed?
Well, it has this air of mystery. It makes you unsure if you're supposed to take it seriously or not. That ambiguity, that slight off-kilter feeling, that's the unsettling part. It's not always about outright horror. Sometimes it's just about things not quite adding up, you know?
Okay, I get that. That's subtle wrongness. The admin had a favorite, didn't they? An example that really captured it for them.
They did, yeah. Image 474056. They described it as a picture of a beautiful and terrifying pool of water that goes down forever.
Ooh, okay. Just the description.
Right.
Yeah, that gives me a bit of a chill.
Right, it taps into that feeling like those creepy stories about lakes, you know? Lakes with a dark history, or maybe someone drowned diving too deep, or someone swears they saw something swimming way down in the dark parts with them.
Yeah, exactly that vibe. Like the photo isn't just water, it's documenting a place with that kind of history.
Precisely. And that example really shows how these images just, well, they play with our imaginations, our fear of the unknown. It's quite primal.
And it hits everyone differently too, I guess.
Oh, completely. That's a huge point. You and your friends, you probably won't find the exact same images unsettling. Our own, personal baggage, our histories, our fears, they totally shape how we react.
So that pool image.
Yeah, for one person, it might just look like, I don't know, friends having a swim. A bit dark, maybe, but whatever. For someone else, though, it's like staring into, a gateway into darkness, thinking about what might be lurking just out of sight.
Wow. Okay, so pulling this all together then, this dive into cursed images, it really highlights how just removing context can warp something totally normal into something unsettling.
Definitely. It sparks our curiosity, sure, but it also feeds our imagination in these strange, sometimes dark ways. It shows how our minds desperately try to make sense of things, even when there's nothing to make sense of.
It really reveals how we process ambiguity.
And maybe that leaves us with a final thought, something for you, the listener, to chew on. Think about the images in your own life, your own photos maybe. What happens if you strip away all the context? What stories might your mind start telling itself then? What seemingly innocent picture could become cursed? Just by removing the who, what, where, when, why.
That's a genuinely unsettling thought.
Yeah.
Might make you look at your camera roll a bit differently. Well, we hope you found this journey into the weird world of cursed images interesting, maybe a little unnerving. Join us next time for another deep dive to get well informed.